Welcome to What's Your Story? I'm Charley Timmins, your host, and every week I bring you someone that is authentic and genuine with insights and practical information you can put to use in your personal business or in your personal life. Today we have a new location. We're at a winery in South Jersey, and my guest today is someone who really enjoys life and gives a lot back. Some of you, like me, are constantly called upon by our children or our grandchildren to make donations to the soccer team, to the school, or to some other charitable cause. This is an area where very innovative ideas come on the scene recently that our guest is involved with. My guest today is Ken Myers. He's the local owner of Apex Leadership Company, and he's here today to share that idea with you that you can take back into your schools or into your PTO to be able to help the organization raise more money and help develop kids. That's the twist, and Ken's going to tell us about that today. Ken?
Hey, Charley,
welcome.
How are you? Thanks so much for having me.
Story?
Appreciate it.
Let's get right to it. Explain Apex Leadership Company.
Sure. Apex Leadership Company is a leadership and character development company who also happens to do fundraising.
Say that again?
We're a leadership and character development company that happens to do fundraising.
That's a nice twist. Tell me more.
So what we do is we work with elementary and middle schools mostly, okay? And we go into the school. We actually have a program where we're on site at the school for 2 weeks. I have what we call our team of athletes, okay? They're young, energetic, positive kids that really are looking to make an impact on kids, teaching them, inspiring them, and we go into the school for 2 weeks at a time. We promote our leadership and character program while we're promoting a fundraiser for the school. What's really neat and different about this is the kids are actually learning something out of our program. As you know, as I know growing up, and my kids before this, they would come to us and they want us to sell wrapping paper or cookie dough or popcorn or whatever else it might be, which is all fine and good, and some of them raised good money for schools. But the kids weren't really getting anything out of it. What we do is we come in with a program that actually teaches the kids, gives them ownership in the program. They're learning all along the way, and we teach and talk to them about leadership, about character, about teamwork, and fitness, which I think is really important for our kids today.
And usually, is it middle school? Is it elementary school? What
Mostly
level?
Elementary school is what we work with. Anywhere private to public, doesn't matter. We also have a middle school program that's slightly a different twist, but a similar concept, where we work in the middle schools. We work more with a select group of kids, teach them how to organize, put on, and promote a fundraiser within their school. Where in the elementary school level, we're actually going into the classroom and teaching the kids leadership lessons 6 different days of the 2 weeks that we're in the program. The cool thing about the elementary school program is that every child is included in the program, whether they don't raise a penny or whether they raise a ton of money. We have incentives or rewards for kids for personal achievement, but we also have team rewards. So we have, as the classroom raises money as a group together, they can receive achievements as a class. So every child is included. Even if they're not raising any money, they're included. We talk a lot about teamwork and selflessness and supporting your teammates. These are our word of the day bands. So every year we come up with a new curriculum. Okay, our curriculums are based on PBIS, which is positive behavior and intervention solutions, and SEL, which is social and emotional learning. They're programs that the schools are really trying to make part of their programs. We create our lessons off of that. We have schools that rebook with us at 90 to 95% year after year. So it really says something about our program. We're new to the Philadelphia and the Pennsylvania area. I'm the first local owner for Apex in Pennsylvania. But we've been around about 8 years. We've served more than 3,800 schools. We've impacted more than 2.5 million children, and we've raised over $65 million for those schools over just the last 8 years.
Ken, you've been around longer than 8 years personally.
A couple years more.
So give the audience an idea of how you got into this business and where you were before and why you chose this.
Sure. I'm a Philadelphia native. I grew up in Northeast Philadelphia, went to school, Holy Ghost Prep, Penn State, and then I took a little detour up to New England for a few years where I was in business, and I had my own business up there for a little while, came back, got into corporate America back here about 5 years ago, and realized that I really just wanted to have my own business again. So I looked at a lot of different businesses, and honestly, I think Apex found me.
Explain that. What do you mean?
Sure. When I was looking at businesses, I had three real criteria that I wanted to make sure were a part of my business. One was that it had an impact and made a difference for people. Two was that it was a community-based kind of business. And three, that it was scalable so that I could grow it. And Apex really checked off all of those boxes, but more importantly, what it checked off for me was the opportunity to impact kids. I coached my son when he was young. I've coached a lot of different sports teams, and I just love having the opportunity to work with kids and impact kids. And what I found, especially after I got into Apex, there's still a whole lot of bullying going on out there. There's still a lot of kids that are just not feeling like that they belong.
How does the program address that?
Well, that's really the neat part of the program. That's the magic of the program. It's great that we raise a lot of money for schools, and we do. We raise a lot of money for schools. But really what the magic of the program is, Charlie, is that we impact kids. And our athletes that go into the schools, they're working with the kids every day. It's not just, we go into the classroom and teach our lessons, and that's only about 8 to 10 minutes per day per class. So we're not a lot of time in there. But when we're not in the classroom teaching our lessons, we're with the kids at recess, we're with the kids at PE, we're with the kids at lunchtime.
You almost embed yourself in the school.
We really do. And what's super cool to see is these kids, these athletes, they just become rock stars. The kids absolutely love them. They're literally, all of our events, we don't actually sell anything. All of our fundraising is done through an event-based and technology platform. Okay, and how that works is that each child in the school, or if it's a sports team that we're raising money for, each child gets their own individual unique access code, which allows them access to their own unique web page. In that web page, they just share their web page with family, friends, and parents, coworkers, and things like that through email, through text, and through social media. We can share it on Facebook and Twitter, okay? And excuse me, and what happens is the kids just, we just talk to the kids about sharing, taking on the responsibility of helping their school out or helping their organization out, and sharing their web page, okay? Because when they share, pledges do come. So we don't talk really about raising money per se. We talk about sharing. We talk about taking ownership and responsibility in helping out their school or their organization.
That's not the fundraising I was involved with in grade school. I had to knock on doors.
Absolutely.
And stand there and in essence beg for money.
Right.
But what you're doing is you're using the old idea of knowing, liking, and trusting people
Exactly.
to try to get people to buy into the cause.
That's absolutely, and it's a great point. And one of the things that is really great about this, and you talk about knocking on doors, well, the great thing about our fundraising platform is that kids do not have to walk around neighborhoods knocking on doors. They don't have to go hang out at malls. They don't have to do they don't have to talk to strangers to try to get money.
How do parents feel about that?
Parents love it. Yeah, parents absolutely love it. So it's really just, it's a unique approach to it, but what is great about it, it's not, it's all good that they don't have to do those things, but even when they're doing those things, the wind's not cooperating here, is it?
Perfect.
So the fact that they don't have to do this thing is all great, but what's really amazing to me is the impact that we have on the kids. That's the magic of the program. And I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it in other states when I've gone to visit other franchisees that are running this program. And I saw it for myself when we served a couple of local schools here.
So here's what I'd like to do. Most people are reluctant to change things.
Yes.
This is the way we've always done it. We don't do that here.
Yeah.
This has been successful. So I want you to share with the audience an example of how you were able to change the thinking of administrations, PTOs, and the results that you got.
It's funny, it's a great question, and in some regard, I don't know that I did change the thinking, okay? And let me explain what I mean by that. There are, as products come to market, right, there's those early adopters, and you have to find early adopters, okay? And that's probably been my biggest challenge. I've had schools literally say to me, who else have you done locally? And I've said, I haven't done anybody locally, I'm brand new to the area. But we've served 3,800 schools, we've raised more than $65 million, and I got testimonials and, references, pages of them.
But for the concept.
But yes.
Okay.
But then they say, well, come back to me when you've served somebody locally. So you have to find those early adopters. And literally, one of my schools, a middle school that I served in Upper Dublin, she literally said to me, Ken, I'll be your guinea pig. I think this concept is amazing.
Thank God.
Yeah, and you need some of those, right? We all know that as business owners. So, so with the middle school, a cool story about that. one of the guidance counselors, I won't use names to protect the innocent, if you will, but I won't use names right now, but she had come up to me one day, and the wind's kicking up, and she had come up to me and she said to me, Ken, I just wanted to tell you something. A teacher came up to me after school today. She's been here forever, and she literally said to me, this is the best thing we've ever done at our school. And that's just a great feeling as a business owner, because I'm in this to make an impact. You know, yeah, we raise money and all those good, that's all great, but I'm in it to make an impact. And this particular school, middle school, they raise money for Relay for Life for the American Cancer Society. They've been doing this for the last several years. This year, we more than doubled what they donated to the American Cancer Society. They donated over $12,000.
Wow.
The next highest school that raised money for this Relay for Life was $3,500. So they over tripled what the next school had raised for this school. And that was a great feeling for them, because they were doing it for a good cause, and they made a tremendous donation to the American Cancer Society.
I think you need to get in touch with the American Cancer Society and let them know that there's a different way for them to raise money today.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea.
Has that ancillary benefit of teaching kids leadership.
Sure.
This is where we need to hear from our sponsors. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back shortly, hear more from Ken, get more ideas about fundraising and developing young children. Be right back.
Shelter dogs aren't broken. They've simply experienced more life. If they were human, we would call them wise. They would be the ones with tales to tell and stories to write. The ones dealt a bad hand who responded with courage. Do not pity a shelter dog. Adopt one.
Say we've got grit, and we'll take it as a compliment. Because it's our uncommon drive, our spark within, that brings us together and sets us apart. We are temple made. And when others take shortcuts, when others take breaks, when others take the easy way, we take charge.
Welcome back to What's Your Story? I'm your host, Charley Timmins. Today we're talking about something that all of us have experienced as adults. Young children coming to us seeking a donation for their team, their school, or their cause. Today my guest is Ken Myers. He's a local owner of an organization called Apex Leadership Companies, and he was getting into some depth about what they do and the difference that they make. So I would like to come back, and I'm a fairly involved parent and grandparent. I want to know, what can I do to contribute when Apex comes into the school?
It's a great question, Charlie. As a matter of fact, one of the biggest benefits of what our program is we actually do all the work, okay? When I say all the work, I'll say 98% of the work, okay? Because there's never all the work, right? So we call our program 100% hassle-free, because we really make it simple for the schools. We take all the risk away from the schools. So all of the investment in the program is borne by me, okay? All of the prizes, we have really fun prizes that the kids can earn. We call them thank you rewards for helping support their school. We give t-shirts to all the kids for the event day. That's all borne by us. And the parents of PTOs really can sit back and really can enjoy it. Now, if they want to get involved, they can. We're happy to have them come into lesson days, and on event day, we do need some help for event day. Parents that tick off the number of laps a kid runs, or how many dance moves they do, or how many obstacle courses they complete. So we do need some help on event day, but outside of that, we really run the whole program. My team and I put in over 300 hours for every school that we serve, before, during, and after.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, on the last event we did with our elementary school, the principal came in at around 7:30 at night, and we were still there setting up for event day the next day. And she said, "Man, you guys really do put in a lot of effort, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah, we do, but we love it. It's a passion for us."
And his teachers were home working on their lesson plans for the next day.
Absolutely,
That's the
correct.
beauty of it.
That's
it's
right.
sort of like they've outsourced this to you for just a 2-week period.
Right, exactly.
And look at the maximum they turn in a short period of time. Let's talk about you being invited back. I know this is your inaugural year.
Yes, yes.
But what have you heard from the company about successive campaigns over time? What's the impact of that?
Well, that's another great question. And one of the really neat things about our program is we have about 90 to 95% repeat customers. So
Wow.
schools that use us book us 90 to 95% of the time afterwards. I was talking to one of our franchise owners in Minnesota. She told me she just finished her 6th year with the same school. And here's what's neat about that, Charlie, is that when you're we talk about it's a short period of time in 2 weeks, right, that we get a lot done. But what's really neat about this, it's also an extended period of time for the kids to be exposed to these lessons and day after day, right? Because a lot of times schools will go out and they'll bring people in, and oftentimes it costs a lot of money to bring these people in to talk about some of these issues, right? And that what's happening is that they come in for maybe a couple hours. The kids might, they'll go through multiple, so the kids might sit in for 45 minutes or an hour and hear this message, which is great. But it's not really a sustained message.
That's right.
Some of the other things that we do, we have what we call our strong box. It's a box that has the lesson of the day on the box. So there's 6 sides to it, and we have 6 lessons. So each day, the child that exemplifies that leadership lesson of the day gets to put the box on their day. You wouldn't believe how excited kids get about this and how they come up to me and they tell me, "Hey, I got the leadership box today. I got the," so it's really neat. But the other cool thing about it is once we leave, the teacher can continue to reference and come back to those lessons when we're not there until we come back the next year. So that's really neat. I'm sorry if I think I got off on a tangent. Did I answer your question?
I'm getting a good feel for it because, when kids hit the 5th, 6th grade, they're weird times.
They are, yeah.
And
they get into that too cool for school mode.
And they get mean.
Yeah, they can.
But when you're getting to them early, it seems, and you're putting values into their head that get positive reinforcement through your program.
Right. Right.
I just think that's so invaluable.
And I do too, Charlie. And that's my goal is to hit these kids at kindergarten, 1st, 2nd grade, and have them go through our program 3, 4, 5, 6 years. And I really think it'll make an impact as they go into middle school. I'm sure you're familiar with the term BHAG.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So my BHAG, for those
big, hairy, audacious goals.
Big, hairy, audacious goal. Right. So my BHAG is to impact 1 million kids in the Philadelphia area.
That's pretty stiff.
Yeah, it is. And when I actually looked at how many kids are in a school, I thought, boy, that's a lot of schools I have to serve. But hopefully, if I serve enough of them year after year, we'll really have that kind of an impact. And I believe this program can. And on top of that, we're raising a ton of money for schools that the schools can use for other programs for the kids. On top of that,
what has your team gotten out of doing this work? You seem real excited for you.
Yeah.
You're the owner. But what about the team? Because in essence, this is not a full-time job for them.
Well, it can be. It can be. Because the way we work it is we go from school to school to school every 2 weeks. So we're going through. The only time we're not serving schools is when they're on spring break or Christmas break or obviously over the summer. But otherwise, the goal is to go to school to school to school. And my goal is at the end of this, I want to have 6 to 10 teams working with me.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so that we're really impacting a lot of schools, year over year.
What's a profile of a typical team member?
That's a great question too. And one of the things I love about this company and what we're trying to do as a company, and the impact we're trying to make on kids, really only people with good hearts kind of are interested in this, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
the
people that are involved in this company just are doing it for all the right reasons, and that's cool. It's cool to be around,
You mentioned before that not everybody's an early adopter.
Right.
I would assume that people that hook up with you, that work with you and work with the kids are part of that early adopter
Absolutely,
audience.
they are.
You're like your own little tribe.
Yeah, they want to make a difference. It's amazing. I've talked to a number of potential athletes that I'm interviewing right now, and almost every one of them, probably every one of them is like, this program sounds so awesome. I'd love to be a part of it, right? I mean, because think about it. What do you do for work? I go to schools and play with kids all day long, and I make a difference in kids' lives. I mean, that's pretty awesome to be a part of.
When we met today before the show and I saw your uniform that you wear. Could you just stand up a little bit and show the uniform out there?
And I got to get my shoes up there too, okay? I got a lot of compliments from the kids on these shoes.
And I said, don't take them off. Then you're happy there when you come back.
There. So listen, we're all about blue and orange. We're all about colors, and we're enthusiasm and passion and energy. That's what we're about. That's what we bring to schools. And the last school that we just served, I had this comment from a number of different teachers. They were just so excited to see the enthusiasm and the energy in the kids. This is the end of the year. We did this almost the last couple of weeks of school, and at that point the kids are kind of burnt out. But kids were so excited. One of my favorite moments, we did the remix for this school, which is the glow-in-the-dark dance party in the gym.
Oh.
So it's really a neat program, and the kids do dance and fitness moves, right? And so we had the whole gym set up, and we had these big blow-up arches that colored and glowed. We had these fun lights going on. We had black lights in there with tape, and it was really cool. And just to see the kids, they would turn the corner to come in the gym door, and their faces just lit up. They're like, "Oh my God!" And they were so excited to get in there and do this. And it was just that's really neat to see.
This is so much different than a dry cleaning franchise.
Yeah, it's a little bit different than that, for sure.
Because you're enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, well, it's so much fun to be a part of it, really is. And we're just getting started in the Philadelphia area. I mean, I can't wait till we're serving 40, 50, 60, 70 schools a year.
I can see where it catches on.
Yeah, that's really where it's just going to be, that's where it's really going to have the impact, And here's the thing, Charlie, that'll be great if we get there. But having served one school and seeing the impact on the kids, even if I touch one kid, what if I reach one kid? And this is funny because I've talked to a number of schools, and some of the schools are like, well, we're doing our own thing and we kind of like it, and we're happy with the money we're raising, and we have good parent volunteers, and that's all great.
Right.
But my question to them is, what's the impact on the kids with your fundraiser? Are the kids getting anything out of it? And what happens if I come in and I impact one of your kids or a handful of your kids, that maybe their confidence isn't where it needs to be, maybe their self-esteem isn't where it needs to be, and now all of a sudden, boom, that switch goes off for them and they start believing in themselves. They start thinking about other kids and standing up for other kids. How much of an impact is that? And what's that worth?
Well, that dovetails into another thing. Most adults do not like talking about themselves. Hi, Ken, nice to meet you. Tell me about yourself. They freeze up. I'm beginning to see that what you're doing is getting kids confident in themselves to be able to ask of other people for help in raising the program, because you're giving them all the tools they need. Plus they're learning something on the side.
You're right, and we do some fun things with the kids too. We have a power clap that we do for the kids.
What's that look like?
So the power clap is when one of the kids or the classroom reaches a particular achievement, we do a power clap. And the power clap is simple, on 3, 1, 2, 3. And the kids just love it. They absolutely love it. So the last day of our last school that we taught, there was a boy who got a really nice a donation from his grandfather, and it put him up to a level where let me take a step back. We have partnered with a company called the Thirst Project. Have you ever heard of them?
No, I haven't.
Okay, the Thirst Project builds freshwater drinking wells for third world countries to provide clean drinking water. So when a child reaches a certain pledge level, it's $10 per lap, which is equivalent to about $300. Apex, out of our pocket, donates to the Thirst Project. So this young man got a donation on the last day from his grandfather, got him to that level. I went into the class to give him his reward and to just congratulate him on getting there. He wasn't there that day. So I talked to the teacher. I said, great, listen, I'll put his reward in your mailbox and you can give him to him on Monday. And the kids were like, well, can we do a power clap? Because they wanted to recognize him. And that, to me, that speaks to our selfless lesson. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The kids are thinking about that, and that, to me, was really cool.
Ken, listen, we're out of time. But
Always goes fast, doesn't it?
It does when you're having fun.
Right.
This is the time in the show where I give you an opportunity to look into the camera, speak to the audience, and make them aware of anything you want to make them aware of, make them any offer you want. Time's yours.
Awesome. Thanks, Charlie. I appreciate it. First of all, thank you for your time again. I appreciate
pleasure.
the opportunity to be on the show. For me, this is a passion. If you haven't seen that yet, I hope it comes across. I'm in this because I want to make a difference in kids' lives. That's really why I'm in it. We do raise a lot of money for schools too, and that's awesome. what I'd like you to do is check out our website. It's apexleadershipco.com, apexleadershipco.com. Check out our website. See if maybe you think it might be a good fit for your school. I'd love for you to reach out to me. I'll come in and talk to you. I'm looking to meet parents of kids in grade school, PTO, PTA, HSA members, principals, and teachers. And if you have kids that are in sports clubs that are looking to raise money, we also have another program for that kind of fundraising as well. Appreciate your time, Charlie. Thank you.
Is your contact information on the website?
No, the contact information is on the website because it's a corporate website. My contact information is Ken Myers. My cell phone number is 267-630-3457, and my email is kenm@apexleadershipco.com.
I'd like you to repeat that because they're reaching for a pen right now.
Sure,
so
got it.
Go over it again.
Okay, one more time. So it's Ken Myers, Meyers. My cell phone number is 267-630-3457. My email is kenm@apexleadershipco.com.
This has been so refreshing. Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Ken.
Charlie. I really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate the good work you're doing with kids.
Thank
you very
Thank
much.
you.
Like I say, every week we have a guest who's authentic and genuine, who's going to give you insights and ideas that you can put into use right away. So if you want to change how fundraising is done in your community, please reach out and contact Ken. Until next time, be well.